Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the show. To all my new listeners, new episodes drop every Thursday. I usually talk about my life, my interests, and the ways I'm trying to grow. So come on back through, you feel me? And for all my day 1, 6, 83, 145, whatever week you came in and decided to keep listening to me, I super appreciate that and all of that good stuff. And guess what, guys?
At the time of this recording,
it is 4th of July. So happy 4th of July and all that good stuff. Please just don't, and to who this may concern, just don't. Just please don't. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. I said what I said. It just is what it is. I am happy I don't work today. If you don't work, celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we finna get into. So, y'all, it is definitely 4th of July. Now, was it foolish to record an episode on the 4th of July in my neighborhood?
Absolutely. Okay.
So if y'all hear the boom, boom, boom in the background a little bit, it's a celebration. You know what I'm saying? Anytime y'all tune in, I'd be happy. It's a celebration. So you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Penrose. But listen, this was the day that I could record because I am off today. When I tell you, man, shout out to everyone in every way. My birthday week, like there was so much celebrating happening from Sunday to Saturday, basically. It feels like every other day. Yeah, it was every other day. Every other day I was doing something with someone. Mind you, also throwing in work, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that just showed love. Shout out to everybody that came to game nights. Shout out to everyone that got me gifts, y'all. It's crazy because I had 2 separate game nights. I didn't need anybody to bring anything other than themselves, right? And people brought me gifts. And it's crazy because I am very much a quality time is my number 1 love language. So literally you just coming, especially I live, kind of far from some people. So literally, you making that drive to my house to come celebrate with me. That was literally the gift that I needed. But like people brought me gifts. And the thing about it is the gifts were really just this like intricate way of God showing his love to me through people. Cause there were things that I wanted or needed or just wanted, because it ain't even always about needs. And like, so-and-so brought this gift that it's like, you wouldn't have even known that I wanted this or whatever. So I just felt like so just loved. And also it's been a minute since I've had a game night at my house, like with my friends there. We've done family ones and all that stuff. And that's cool. Don't get me wrong. But like having where like my kids, I'm like, look, this is my birthday party. Thank you for showing up for a little bit, but this isn't like a family thing. So Devon and Janae dipped out after a little bit. I wasn't even tripping. Once I told them I wasn't tripping, because it's like, this party is for me. Like if they wouldn't have came, like Kayliana was sick. She wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So like, if they wouldn't have came, I wouldn't have even been mad, but I'm glad they did. You know what I'm saying? But had so much fun, but it just felt, struggle bus. Okay, let's get it together, Tam. It just felt so good just to host people. Like I am very much I like to have people over. I am absolutely going to have a live, we're not going live, but like an in-person karaoke battle. That is definitely about to be the next like game night or whatever that I have. Gizmo did well, you know what I'm saying? The first one, because like it's usually just me and my kids. We don't be having people over here like that. We didn't, right? So I was like prepping him, like, all right, Gizmo, my friends are coming over. I need you to like not do what you be doing. And so he didn't do as well the first day. So I ended up having him because I had two separate game nights and he didn't do as well the first one. And so I took him upstairs and he stayed in Kayleana's room with her. But then the second one, because it's like I want him this is your house. I don't want you to feel like you have to go away whenever people come over. Like I ain't about to have nobody in here that's crazy, you know what I mean? So the second one he did really well. He was able to stay out. He did bark a little bit, of course, when somebody excuse me, when somebody new came in, as he should. He don't know them. He don't know if I'm in danger, you know what I'm saying? But then he is very much about the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Or it could just be he was just used to, okay, I didn't know this what my mom be on. I didn't know she be having people over and stuff like that. Okay, let me get on board. And then a friend came to visit yesterday and he barked at first when he heard the doorbell, and then once she was in, he, was cool. So it's like I love that for him because it's like, look, your mom likes to have people over. I like to host people, so you got to be on board with it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had like just such a great birthday week, and it just feels really good after like really 2 years of not really being able to kind of do what I want to do, how I want to do it, because I wasn't in my, okay. Well, yeah, 2 birthdays, not 2 years, but 2 birthdays of not being able to do what I want to do because I wasn't in my own place. It just felt so good to just have people over, and we had so much fun at both game nights, you know what I'm saying? And it was like I really like had birthday stuff with like my different friend groups, and I actually kind of like that. Like I do like to mix friend groups, you know what I'm saying, and all that good stuff. But it was nice to, okay, so had brunch with my small group, and then there was a game night where I had basically only invited people from the creative team, and then there was another game night where it was just like all the rest of my friends, you know what I'm saying? But when I have stuff in the future, y'all gonna all have to come together. So it just is what it is. But yeah, it was so fun. Just such a great birthday week. And on the flip side of that, though, it has been such an interesting time in the emotional life of Tamra. You feel me? Like, yeah, there's been a lot of growth and breakthrough that has been happening. And whatever, I don't even remember what episode it is that I first like alluded to kind of being interested in somebody or whatever. It's still a thing. It's interesting because I've become more okay with like embracing that it is a thing, embracing that it is normal to have an interest in somebody. Have I told this person? No, I literally just I feel like maybe it's yesterday got to a point of being more at peace with, okay, so this, and what I like is that I interact with him, and I'm getting to just, which sounds really stalkerish what I'm about to say, but getting to just kind of watch and observe and just see who he is as a person without even really like, we don't have a ton of like we don't be texting each other, calling each other, hanging out and all that. And I love that because I'm just getting to see just like who he is as a person. And whenever we do like interact or hang out, it's like it's a group thing. So it's not like this, we're intentionally doing whatever. And it's different than any other way that I've ever called myself interested in somebody. But I like it because it's really me getting to figure out like without all of the messiness that can come once you start like really investing time in somebody and like having those like emotional ties and all that, depending on the type of stuff that you talk about and you share with each other, excuse me. And that's definitely been a thing in the past, you know what I'm saying? So I love the way that this is going because I'm really getting to just see who this person is as a person to decide, okay, what is it about this person that there's this draw. But then on the flip side of that, with that has come so much like, my gosh, I'm glad. Who knows what's even going to happen with this person, but I'm glad this is happening the way that it's happening, like just on my own, you know what I'm saying? Because either way, I'm becoming free of a lot of wounds I didn't even know were a thing, you know what I'm saying? Because just so much is triggered. um Calling myself, we won't say calling myself, so much is triggered being interested in somebody, so many fears and insecurities that honestly I thought I was, not like I thought I was good, but I just thought I was less wounded in certain areas than I actually still have been. And so, like, different interactions with him or just whatever, I am very much a deep and overthinker. So, but these interactions, these whatever, trigger so many like fears and insecurities. But what I love about that happening is that I've been able to process that without like treating this person any differently or like them even being involved in it at all. Now, what I realized though with these fears and insecurities, just how many father issues, like it runs deep, right? Pause if necessary. And so I love that this situation has allowed me to really, like, I'd say like as of this moment, be the freest I've ever been in life, literally because and I don't want to say too much because I don't know who listens to this, and it's like I'm very much keeping this person like, okay, so maybe there's, I think, two people that I've actually told who it is. One knows him, one doesn't. So, but other than that, I don't really like, I don't even really talk about it. And so on this show, I definitely don't want to because, again, I don't know who listens to this and I don't, yeah, no. So, what I love about the way this is happening, though, is that as all of this is being triggered and all of these fears and insecurities are like bubbling to the surface, it's forcing me to address them and confront them and figure out what's going on because I just want to be free, right? Like I don't want to feel like, so these are some of the things that I've kind of been wrestling with. I don't want to feel like I can't be myself around literally anyone, right? I'm 43 now years old. What I look like not being myself. And so in moments when I'm around this person where I feel like I want to like hide parts of who I am, I have to tap in and explore like, okay, well, why is that? Like, what am I fearing about being? Now, there's wisdom in not being fully known, but that's not what I'm talking about. Just normally known, just like being normal, you know what I'm saying? I've really had to like, man, there's fears that I didn't even realize. Gizmo, why? Why would you do that? Hey, you don't see me recording? Y'all, I apologize. And nobody's here because I had to. I'm looking at like Gizmo. Stop it. I'm looking at Y'all, I apologize. I don't know what the heck is going on with this dude, and I had to look at location to see if like one of my kids like came home or something, because that's when I could see where he would do that. But like, why would you play right now? You see these lights on. Hey, stop it. Y'all, I apologize. And I'm not editing any of this out either because it just is what it is. This is my life. Come here, Gizmo. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. This is my life and the ways I'm trying to grow, and I'm growing as a dog mom. So it just is what it is. I don't know what's happening, why he's tripping. I had to look at the location to see if one of my kids came home, excuse me, because a lot of times if they come home and he doesn't know who's in the house, he'll bark. I don't hear nothing going on outside. Like sometimes if there are dogs barking outside, he will bark. The windows are all open because the AC, ooh, child, the AC is not ACing like it should. They will be here tomorrow. It really sucks that this happened on a Monday that I let the landlord know because today is, come here, come here, come here, come here. We gonna put you on camera. Gizmo, look, say, look, you on camera. Chill out, dude. Um, he Is this real right now? Why are you tripping? What is wrong with you? Hmm? Yeah, guys. So, a lot of times when somebody will come, I think that's what I was saying, that he doesn't know who it is, he'll bark, but it's not my kids. Oh, the air. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, the air is out. So we got the windows open and maybe he just wanted to be held. Now you on this episode. But that's fine because if he'll be quiet, then he'll be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it has been a time to be alive, clearly, because when have you ever seen Gizmo in any episode if you're watching? When have you heard him? But again, this is my life and the ways I'm trying to grow. Dude, go sit down somewhere. Do you hear the birds? Like, what is happening? They ain't even see. This will be tripping me out about him is that he will no barking, Gizmo. Like people be outside, right? I could see if somebody came in. That's why, like I said, I was trying to check the location or whatever. I could see if somebody came in. Nobody came in, right? Nobody came in. I just heard some birds chirping outside. Not you barking at the birds, that they outside doing their bird thing and they ain't even in here. Like this is what sometimes a little bit be tripping me out about him because you be worried about the wrong stuff. You be worried about people that's outside that ain't even worried about you. They can't even see you and you want to make yourself known. Like please stop. Anyways, yeah, so it has been a time to be alive as I've like processed through all of this, but it's like the more that I'm just honest with myself about like my desires, not necessarily specifically related to this person, but just in general in this area. Because I think a lot of times, for me anyway, insecurities and fears has caused me to almost like bury this desire. And so whereas I could easily say, oh, I've been too busy or I've been focused on this, that, and the other, the reality, excuse me, is that I just really out of fear and insecurity have more so not even really tried to go there in this area of my life, even though it is very much a desire, as I've talked about on this show. And even more so now that my kids are all grown, life is more settled, like with my company. I feel like I have like just a good rhythm of the subcontracting work that I do keeps clientele coming in so that like I don't have to go back to a 9 to 5. I have it's not like official as far as like we haven't signed a contract, but I am a reoccurring workshop presenter. I don't even know what they call it at this at College of Hair Design. And so I've been going there and teaching them about how to establish a solid foundation for them building the business as barbers, and then teaching them about digital marketing. So I have this like good rhythm with where things are with my company. I have even a good rhythm with my schedule. I have a good rhythm with like my Snatch 40s journey. Like, has it been perfect? No. And what's crazy is over my birthday weekend, of course I was cutting up a little bit, not too much. It's just so funny what cutting up looks like now. I didn't have a cake at either of the things because I was just like, I don't really want to have something in here like left over. So I had like barbecue meatballs, vegetables, fruit, some cheesy caramel popcorn mix or whatever, and there was cookies. So like, I'm not saying I don't eat. Ooh, y'all! Shout out to Costco. There was this dark chocolate covered pretzel thins. My goodness, they were so good. So yes, there was definitely stuff that I had, but even with that, still, you know what I'm saying? Not doing too much, but doing enough. Had pizza whatever day and this, that, and the other. But even with that, it just made me that much more appreciate the way that I eat now, just because like I just feel better when I eat better. So like I'm very much on like self-care, even more like stepping it up in those areas. And so I just feel like I'm in a good place just in my life to actually be for real with myself in that area, you know what I mean? So with that, it's caused me to have to do a lot of soul searching, and it's caused me to have to really like process a lot of the issues of my heart that I'm not going to say I necessarily knew that was a thing, but then once it comes to the surface, it's like, what do you do with that? Do I just let that fear and that insecurity stop me from moving forward, just in general? Because again, this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with this specific person. It's just this specific person and this interest in this person is bringing all this stuff to the surface. But either way, be it, let's go there. Let's say something moves forward with this person, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? But let's say it doesn't and it's somebody else comes along. Either way, there is freedom that I have now that I didn't have before. And so with that though, freedom isn't free. Freedom has not been this like, oh, okay, I recognize this in my heart and I don't want it there anymore. So, okay, now I'm free. No, freedom for me, so many, like, dude, bruh, my goodness. I have cried so much in the last week plus, probably like week and a half is when it kind of started. Not specifically just related to that. There's other things, but regardless, it's all been me processing the issues of my heart. I've cried so much, and I'm talking about crying, cannot get myself together, crying into a towel because I don't want Gizmo to hear, I don't want my kids to hear, like crying like crazy to get the pain and the brokenness and really just the chains of lack of freedom, for lack of a better word or better way to say that. Freedom has been like, it has been painful. It's painful to admit that, I'll just say one thing, me knowing, like, admit that my bio dad not fighting for me has caused wounds that I didn't even realize until it just came out. Like, I was just talking to the Lord about stuff and he say this, I say that, whatever. And then it just came out that has been an issue. Like, he didn't fight for me. And I could go even more in depth in that, but I'm not going to because it's not fully related to him and it is what it is. But and it's not related to my mom either, I feel like I should say, but whatever. He didn't fight for me. So that this desire to be actually pursued, right? And everyone's different. Like some women don't want that, some do, some men want to pursue, some don't. And I've had so many different discussions about men and women about this, and I'm not going to say there's a right or a wrong way. There's preferences, right? And your preference is okay, right? So my preference is that I would be pursued. However, what I came to realize the other day is that me thinking I'm not worthy of that or that's never going to happen stemmed from the fact, we're not going to be on, Nope. Stemmed from the fact that my bio dad never fights for me. Never, and when I say fights for me, like never makes any effort to have a relationship with me at all. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just one area, like that's painful to, as y'all could probably tell, I was about to get choked up just now. Pause if necessary, but I don't know. I don't know what be going through people's minds when they hear certain things. So, but that's painful to, you know what I'm saying? Because it's your parent. It is someone that is supposed to, like, I didn't ask to be here, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I can't do anything about his choices. All I can do is once I recognize that the effect of his choice is a barrier in my life for what I want, I have to choose in that moment to not let it be. And so that means I have to process that pain. I have to go through the healing process from that pain, but it's a process. So, like, the thing about it is, this has been this journey for years where there's layers and there's levels and there's so much, and you pull back what is like an onion or whatever. You pull back a layer, and then there's more. There's always more, and it gets deeper and deeper into the core of who you are. And like, this is something that has shaped me all my life, you know what I'm saying? And so when stuff like pain happens at a young age, it almost becomes just a part of your identity, to where you think that's just how you are and who you are, when the reality is that you've actually been operating out of your woundedness, and it just happens at such a young age that it shaped like who you would become and what you would do and this, that, the other. So then to be 43 years old and dealing with that, like, that was painful, you know what I'm saying? However, then as I go forward, it's like triggers are triggers, right? And so different things are going to trigger us, and we don't always know what's going to trigger us, but we are responsible for what we do in that moment. So if I go forward and something happens and it triggers me to like want to operate out of the woundedness that happened as a result of that, it's my decision and my choice, and I have to make a choice, is what I'm trying to say, to not be walking in bondage, basically, and walk in freedom and walk in the truth. And the truth is that his inability to fight for me, right? His inability to see the value in pursuing a relationship with me, whatever the reasons, right, is not a reflection of my worth. That doesn't mean I'm less than because he can't see the value in it, right? Or, and I won't even say value, but that's a lot of times how we take on things. So that's why I'm kind of using that language. He's obviously broken. I mean, there are things that I know about him. He didn't have his dad in his life. His mom died before I was born. So like, he has his own wounds. I get it. But then again, when you don't deal with your brokenness, the cycle just continues, right? So you've passed wounds down to me because you have not dealt with your brokenness. And then if I didn't deal with my brokenness, and there's even been wounds that have been passed down to me from my mom for various things, like, parents do the best that they can, but it doesn't mean that we're all imperfect people. So I know I've caused wounds to my kids, you know what I'm saying? But I do try to be very intentional about, once I recognize something or whatever, dealing with it and processing it and healing from it, so that in general I can interact with people in a healthy way, right? And because hurt people hurt people. I know you've heard that before. And so that's why I'm very much always on the show talking about, make sure you take care of yourself mentally, make sure you take care of yourself emotionally, making sure I take care of myself mentally today, right? And I'd even say maybe emotionally, but probably more so mentally is what this falls into. Is, as I said, today is the 4th of July. I could have gone elsewhere. I'm not. I'm choosing to stay home. One, there's stuff I need to do in the house, and I'm not working today. Like, There are certain holidays I will work. 4th of July is not one of them, whether I'm going to do something or not. I know the kids want to be with their families and all that stuff, and that's usually a day people do stuff. So I'm not going to like try to schedule a meeting and show up at your house, and I'm not doing all that. So I pushed my meetings around that I had or whatever today with the kids that I work with. And then my kids are gone, right? So it's just me and Gizmo. For me, for my mental health, is being alone today. Now, if somebody happens to come over, cool. But me, as of this moment, me going anywhere is not going to happen. And the reality is that I did a lot of peopling last week with all the birthday celebrations. I told y'all every other day it was a celebration. You feel me? And I love that. I love the people that wanted to celebrate with me. I love the people that took time out of their day to text, call, whatever. Again, thank you for all of that, because you don't have to do that, right? But I'm not an extrovert. I've said that many times on this show. I am very much an introvert. Yes, the work that I do, the hobbies that I have, the volunteering and serving that I do through my church's creative team, it does cause me to have to do extroverted things and do a lot of peopling, but I am not an extrovert. So as an introvert, after doing a lot of peopling, to recharge myself, I need alone time. This is why I start my day in my word by myself, praying by myself. I mean, Gizmo being here, but you know what I mean. This is why I start my day like that, so that I can go out and then ultimately pour myself out to all the different things that I do, right? But I've had a lot of extra peopling with celebrations and entertaining folks that came over and this, that, and the other. And I love doing it, but I also know that when I do that and I have a lot of that, then I need to have some time by myself. And I'm glad I know that about myself. So then today, yes, today is the 4th of July. Yes, I could go wherever. There's things I need to do in the house that I feel like today is the perfect day to do it, because I don't have to go anywhere today, right? However, that aside, like, just this time by myself has just been great, and having an unhurried day. Like, I actually slept in today. Normally sleeping in for me is like sleeping till 7. I actually didn't get up until like 9 something. And here's the thing. Saturday night, between the game night and my best friend stayed the night and then went to church with me the next day. She and I were up until like after 3 in the morning. Shout out to Lindsey, LNZ, y'all who know PenTamZ. Shout out to PenTamZ, you feel me? But y'all have seen her on the platform, right? And so she stayed the night, and usually whenever we get together, we're catching up. It's gonna be, I knew we were gonna be up late, so was up till like 3 something, still got up and went to church the next day. And then you would think that Sunday night I went to bed early. No, then Sunday I was up late doing some work and working on this spreadsheet and doing all this stuff. So it's kind of like, then I was up late Sunday, and then Monday I worked, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't up super late last night. So it's like I'm not I'm too old really to be up till some 3 o'clock in the morning and then turning around and getting up early. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need my rest. So therefore today, I originally had my alarm set for, I think, I want to say like 7:30, because that's still sleeping in, right? I was like, no, I don't have anywhere that I'm going. So just having an unhurried day. I have all day to do everything that I have on my, it's not really a task list, but kind of like one of the things I got to do is there's extra folding tables and chairs out still, because wanted to make sure I had enough seating for everybody, put that stuff up, get the house fully back in order, do a little bit of laundry. Because there's a guest room now that, Janae moved out or whatever. And so her room is a guest room. And so the sheets and the blanket and all that stuff, wash all that, you know what I'm saying? And just little stuff. It's not like anything major. Do a little bit of meal prepping, but I have like all day to do it. And so I was like, today is the perfect day to record, because I very much need to be on time. I know I was like late for a few weeks or whatever, but like I said, it wasn't going to be that. no more. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be on time. And so yeah, this has been just a great day of just really nothing. You know what I'm saying? I know that last night, boy, I hope last night was the last of the fireworks around these parts because man, Gizmo. So his birthday is August 4th. So this is his first 4th of July. Now there are these calming treats that I give him that, like I could tell even though he was anxious and nervous and whatever, I feel like it would have been worse if he hadn't been given the calming treats. But still, it was like the wild, wild west out here. Mind you, in other neighborhoods that I've been in, it's been like that. It's just I never had a dog to consider. And so I wanted to try to take him out to go to the bathroom because he only goes twice a day. And we went out, and as soon as they was doing their thing, and I didn't like. I think they had just started at the time that we went to go outside. This dude ran back in the house and was like, nope, absolutely not. He actually ended up peeing and pooping on the floor, and I couldn't even be mad at him because he literally felt like he was in danger. Like, he doesn't typically pee and poop in the house. I can count on one hand, and it's not even been 5 times that has happened, and it was for a very specific reason. The first time is when he got sick. He literally couldn't control it. This time, he was scared. Like, it is what it is. I wasn't even mad. I just cleaned the mess up. Thankfully, it was on a rug and not the carpet, and thankfully, it was like his normal poop, maybe TMI, but whatever. Because when he was sick, it was like diarrhea, so that was different. This was his normal poop, so I just picked it up, threw the rug in the washer and dryer and all that good stuff, mopped the floor because he peed like on the floor, and moved on with life. You know what I'm saying? Because it just is what it is. And so I'm hoping that because they did all that last night, because maybe they were thinking like, okay, the holiday is today, so people probably have today off. So like, let's do everything on the 3rd. Because it was just, they was going at it around these parts. And I'm sure they probably got to go to work tomorrow, hopefully. So I'm hoping tonight is not that again, especially because we have to have the windows open because the whole AC thing. So that made it worse too, because it's like, I ended up opening the windows last night, and so normally the windows being closed would muffle some of the sound out. And Gizmo was just, it was a time to be alive. So hopefully tonight is not that, but if it is what it is. And that's kind of also why I don't want to leave him, because I don't want to leave him alone while this is happening, and this is like all new to him. So yeah, but even him aside, I still just kind of need to refresh myself. And alone time is how I refresh myself. Alone time is how, as an introvert, I am able to do extroverted things. And it's not like I don't experience burnout, and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. As I always say, make sure you take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, be healthy in your relationships. And again, thank you so much for listening and all that good stuff. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for